Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Emerge Wrestling Showcase. My name is Casey Johnson, and it looks like Jacob Johns is already in the ring. He is ready for our opening contest here against King Crush. Jacob Johns at Emerge 11 Emergence Day, very, very impressive. He made it all the way to the finals of the E8 tournament before he was eventually defeated by Appollo Starr. That being said, he gets an Outbreak title shot against Chris Caliber on February 6th, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on into the match, as here comes his opponent, King Crush. King Crush is odd. I've gone on record as saying I think King Crush is a little bit off his rocker, but that being said, he is a tremendous competitor, and he will fight until there is no breath left in his lungs. So while Jacob Johns is admittedly a much larger opponent, never count out one King Crush. And it looks like it's going to be size versus power here. Let's see how this shakes out as the match gets underway. We'll see if King Crush can do it. But for now, let's send it over to the voice of Emerge, Chris Lowe, for the ring introductions. All right, here looks like this match is about to get underway. King Crush got to stay moving, got to hopefully take the big man down. That's exactly what he needs to do if he hopes to win this match. Jacob Johns, though, doesn't look scared as he goes, and King Crush rolls out of the way here, hit to the knee, and it looks like the big man is down here early. Shining Wizard, and Jacob Johns is stunned. This might end up being a more of a competitive match than we thought. Huge enziguri here from King Crush, and the big man is down. I've never seen this happen so quickly. King Crush very, very comfortable on the top rope, and it looks like he is going to fly once again. Huge stomp to Jacob Johns, but it looks like King Crush might have hurt himself there, and if I know Jacob Johns, it'll be like a shark to blood. Oh, yep, here comes Jacob Johns. Oh, wait a second. Is he already... King Crush up on the shoulders, and if that's... Yeah, the pile driver, this might be it. This match might be over. 1, 2... Easily putting away King Crush. That is one of the more impressive things I've ever seen from the Midwest Monster, Jacob Johns. He looks like he is ready for Chris Caliber, and I just feel bad for King Crush that King Crush got in his way. Again, Jacob Johns on February 6th gets an Outbreak Championship match against the new champion Chris Caliber, and that is going to be an absolutely fantastic match. Speaking of Emerge 12, we have a debut there of the Flowin Samoan Anthony Toatele with Kenzi Alexander. We caught up with them a little bit earlier on this week. Let's take a look and see what they have to say about Emerge 12.
It's Sunday night, and here in the Toatele household, we were just about to sit down to enjoy some dinner, but first we wanted to take a minute to let all of the Emerge fans know how excited we are to finally be a part of Emerge Wrestling on February 6th.
I can't tell everybody how excited I am to come down on February 6th to Columbus, Indiana, and take part in a triple threat match, which is going to be the marquee match on the card. Cannot wait to tear the house down. Now, both of my opponents in this triple threat match, one is Kyle Maverick, the man without fear. That guy is the man without fear. Emerge fans, correct me if I'm wrong, but last time I checked, his very first match was against J.D. Mariani, the reigning heavyweight champion of Emerge Wrestling. So, kudos to that guy. Can't wait to get in there with him and tangle, and tear it up. And then the other opponent of mine is, the Conniving Kenneth James. Now, KJ, you were around in the same locker rooms when I first started wrestling, and now I hear about you putting people on the shelf at Emerge Wrestling. Yeah, listen, I have all the respect in the world for you, man, but I would suggest that you don't try to put me on any sort of shelf, all right? But again, Emerge fans, can't wait to come down February 6th, Columbus, Indiana. Can't wait to do what I always do best, and that is...
Show up, show out, get out.
Well, the Flowin Samoan, Anthony Toatele, and of course Kenzi looking forward to Emerge 12, as I believe that we all are. Of course, he took a second to talk about his opponents in the triple threat match, who are the man without fear, Kyle Maverick, and this man, Conniving Kenneth James. Kenneth James is one bad dude, and what he likes to do is nothing more than hurt people. He's been putting people on the shelf, including Joe Pittman here in Emerge, and he is not happy. You see the scowl on his face. He is still very, very angry about the fact that Joe Pittman beat him. Not only did Joe Pittman beat him, Joe Pittman made him tap out, wrapping his leg around the ring post. It did something to Kenneth James. It unlocked a side of him I'm not sure that we've ever seen before, and he is very, very intent on hurting his opponent, Appollo Starr. Hurting Appollo Starr, though, is going to be no easy task. This man is one of the best wrestlers in Emerge today. This guy is your number one contender for the championship. Of course, all he's got to do to get to the championship is do, of course, the easiest thing in the world, which is defeat JD Mariani and probably Jacob Johns again, and probably Bad, and you always got to deal with Nikki. What I'm saying is that he has a tough road to the championship, but if anybody can do it, then this man right here can do it, Appollo Starr. He is a big competitor. He can match JD, I think, in power. He is very charismatic. He always has the fans on his side, and that does count for something. Adrenaline takes over when the fans start cheering for you. And overall, I think he's skilled enough to possibly get the job done. Although it is going to be a very tough road that he has to go down, because Donnie Idol couldn't do it. He got put on the shelf. Ricky Ruckus couldn't do it. He got put on the shelf. And JD Mariani is on the warpath. But I think Appollo Starr possibly has a shot at it. Let's send it over to Chris Lowe. Huge ovation here for Appollo Starr, as always, from the Emerge fan base. And these two men are in this match for very different reasons, I feel. Poison Appollo Starr is looking to stay on his game, stay in top physical condition, so that he can beat JD Mariani. Meanwhile, Conniving Kenneth James it's as if a hungry shark needs blood. He is starving right now, and he needs to get back on the fast track if he's going to be ready for Toatele and for Kyle Maverick on February 6th. Two men lock up here in the center of the ring, and Conniving Kenneth James here, look for him to use a lot of underhanded tactics here. Again, he doesn't really care about what the referee or the fans think of him. As Chris Lowe just alluded to, beating people up is what he does. Although right now, Poison Appollo Starr taking the fight to him. Of course, Conniving Kenneth James, very, very smart, staying in the corner so that Appollo Starr can't get to him nearly as much. Two men square off again here, fighting for position in the center of the ring. Conniving Kenneth James, it looks like, is trying to back Poison up into the ropes here, but it looks like Appollo Starr is much, much too strong for him. As, oh, that is a risky move by Appollo Starr here. You do not want to get Conniving Kenneth James mad at you, because if the referee turns around, he will not hesitate to use some very illegal maneuvers to get the upper hand. Appollo Starr, though, it doesn't look like he's too worried, of course, in top physical condition as he's getting ready for his title shot. Drop toe hold over into a face lock, and Appollo Starr is firmly in control here early. Of course, that's probably what we'd expect from a performer that is his caliber, the #1 contender to the Emerge Championship. But it looks like Conniving Kenneth James is back to his feet now, and anything is possible. Kenneth James trying to fight out there, but it didn't end up working out. As soon as he loses his grip, Appollo Starr goes straight back to the hold, although it looks like Kenneth James is getting out of it here. Carryover here by Appollo Starr, and Appollo Starr is dominating in the first part of this match. Of course, Appollo Starr trained at the Rage Dojo, and a lot of great stars have come out of the Rage Dojo, guys like Drake Younger, and he is no slouch to wrestling, although it looks like Kenneth James here with the head scissors has a fair bit of control here in this match. Starr trying to fight out of it here. Headstand here from Appollo Starr, and it looks like James is a little bit, he was caught off guard by the fact that he was doing that headstand 2 count from referee Toby Lee, and it looks like as he applies the front face lock there, it looks like, to sound a little bit corny, Appollo Starr might be out conniving the Conniving Kenneth James. Appollo Starr, of course, absolutely loves his fans and loves to have a good time in the ring, if at all possible, which is one of the things that makes him and Kenneth James, and indeed him and JD Mariani, so different, is the fact that, you know, all of those men are very businesslike in the ring, just wanting to beat people up. Meanwhile, Appollo Starr wants to get people involved in the match. He wants to make sure that the fans have a good time. And that is something that the fans recognize, which is why he is one of the most popular stars in Emerge. Shoulder block here by Appollo Starr, busting out a little bit of a groove, as he frequently does. Floats over him, arm drag from Appollo Starr, and it looks like Kenneth James is reeling as he goes back over into the ropes. Back elbow from Appollo Starr, and it looks like he's going for a cover here. 1, 2 count only. Kenneth James is still in it. Back into the corner here, they both go. Huge chop from Appollo Starr. That is one move that hurts possibly more than any other move in wrestling. Clothesline here in the corner as he whips him out. Ducks under the clothesline again, and an eye rake from Conniving Kenneth James. And this is what I was talking about with the fact that Conniving Kenneth James is going to win by any means necessary as he gets the 2 count here. He will do anything he can, whether it's, you know, hitting somebody with a foreign object, whether it's, you know, raking the eyes, raking the back, applying a chokehold. And referee Toby Lee here, and I'm glad that, you know, Toby is officiating this match. Toby is a veteran. He's one of the very best out there, and he will look to see whether or not Kenneth James is applying a chokehold as opposed to a chin lock, or whatever the case may be, because as we see here, he is perfectly willing to choke somebody out using the ropes, or using his hands, his foot, his knee, whatever he can use to get an upper hand. That is what Conniving Kenneth James is all about. Trying to get him here into a little bit of a suplex, holding him up. Of course, letting the blood rush to the head, just a little bit of poison, kind of throws him off balance a bit. now taking the legs, and he might be going for some sort of a submission here, as he is very good at submissions. Instead, driving his boot into the chest of Appollo Starr and kicking him in the face. And it's interesting, it's highs and lows with Conniving Kenneth James, 2 count only, where he loves using submission moves and punishing opponents, but at the same time he is rough, he is tough, he is a brawler as well, and that's what makes him so dangerous. He can fight any way that you need him to fight. He can get the upper way any way that he needs to get the upper hand, and that is very, very conducive to a winning atmosphere. Heads off into the corner here, caught by a boot from Appollo Starr, and Appollo Starr here. Oh, power slam here from Kenneth James. 1, 2, 2 count only. James starting to get frustrated with the fact that he can't put Appollo away here, but he's got to stay focused if he thinks that he's going to be able to win this match. Punch straight to the face of Appollo. You got to check for the open fist there. Going for a lariat, and he ducks under it. Neckbreaker from Appollo Starr, and it looks like Kenneth James is in trouble. 1, 2, 2 count only, and Appollo Starr is starting to try to get the fans back on his side, trying to get all the fans in there. And indeed they are. And Appollo is starting to feel it here. Chops, slaps to the face of Kenneth James over into another neck breaker, definitely focusing his attack on the head here. 2 count only, says Toby Lee. And Appollo Starr is in control here, and at this point I think the match is his to lose, as Kenneth James is reeling. Off into the ropes, clothesline from Appollo, rolls over into the corner, goes at him, back elbow, snapmare, off into the ropes he goes. Huge sitting lariat from Appollo. 1, 2, 2 count only. Appollo here looking very impressive, very ready when it comes to his next matchup against JD Mariani. Although it looks like Kenneth James still has some fight left in him. Underhook here, underhook powerbomb from Kenneth James, 2 count, almost just pinned Appollo Starr. And that is surprising to me, folks. I did not expect him to get so close, honestly. Back to his feet here. Huge German suplex, lands right on his head, does Appollo Starr. Still some fight left in him though, but at this point, contrary to what I said a bit earlier, it looks like this match might be Kenneth James to lose. When it comes down to it, that's what wrestling is. Momentum swings back and forth every time that it gets the chance to. And just like I said, it looks like here, Starr is once again in the driver's seat. These two men very, very evenly matched. Off into the ropes goes Kenneth James. Huge kick from Appollo Starr, and Kenneth James perhaps wisely headed out to the outside, trying to escape a little bit of punishment. Kenneth James very, very smart, using any chance that he can to. Looks like he's going under the ring here, and Toby's talking to Appollo. Kenneth James here, what does Kenneth James have on his hands? It looks like he has something on his hands. Appollo Starr here doesn't realize there's. Yeah, he hit him. What? The bell has rung here. I'm a little bit confused. Oh, Toby Lee. It looks like they were brass knuckles. Kenneth James using the brass knuckles against Appollo Starr, trying to get a little bit of an upper hand on the big man, and it looks like it failed, and Kenneth James has been disqualified, I think. Yes. Apollo has won this match because Kenneth James has been disqualified. This is not what I expected, folks. It doesn't look like Kenneth James cares, though. Like I said, this is a very, very angry young man, and he is... all that he wants to do, it looks like, is hurt Apollo, and it appears that he was incredibly frustrated by the fact that he couldn't overcome the #1 contender tonight, and it looks like Apollo is... oh, no, Apollo back here on the upper hand. Huge clothesline from Appollo Starr, and Apollo might be feeling it here. Exploder suplex, and Kenneth James is out of there. In retreat, it looks like. And there you have it, folks. Poison Appollo Starr has done away with Kenneth James here. Kenneth James did everything that he possibly could to get the upper hand on Appollo Starr. Oh, is he coming back in for more? I'm not sure that that's... no, that was not a smart move on the part of Kenneth James, and I did not expect anything less from him, because Appollo Starr here looking very, very poised, very confident on his way to his title shot. Again, Appollo Starr versus J.D. Mariani. February the 6th, Emerge 12 Consequences, DSI in Columbus, Indiana. We want all of you, of course, to be there. Remember, of course, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and right here, youtube.com/Emerge Pro Wrestling. You get a new episode of Showcase every Sunday, and not to mention plenty of fantastic content throughout the week, including Chris Lowe's Lowdown. Right now, though, I'm getting word that we've had another tape sent in to us by CEO Dave Dynasty. He hasn't told me what's going on yet, but let's go ahead and take a look at that. And is this something about Outbreak?